And it's
fact,
just not...
speaking of Godzilla, the first movie I ever cried at, was Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
Yeah,
when he dies.
because he blew up.
7-year-old me was devastated.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the HeadKanon podcast. I'm Bryan. This is Jordan, and this is Tay. We put out a new episode every week, except for when we don't. Make sure to join our Discord if you want to keep updated with everything that we're doing, and just like hang out. Link is in the description. Today we're going to be talking about Godzilla Minus One. I just saw Godzilla Minus One minus color. I think Tay Tay's seen the fucking movie like 3 times.
It's my third time watching today. It's gas.
Fucking rad. It's. I wanted to talk about it because it's been a minute since I've seen like a kaiju film. I think the last kaiju film that I saw was Godzilla vs. Kong, actually.
Yeah.
And every time that I watch a new Godzilla movie, that becomes my favorite Godzilla movie.
Well, I was gonna say, this movie stops showing in February 1st, I think. So we're on the last leg of it. Yeah.
It had an interesting run because it like released in color, like released like the original theatrical release, and then that stopped, and then like now we dropped the minus color release.
Then the next version of this movie is gonna be minus sound.
I saw one minus heat sink or something.
It's gonna be a bunch of shapes.
It's just gonna be. It's just gonna be like a silent movie.
It's like a pre-rig
CGI.
version.
It's gonna be people acting in the...
And it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
Maybe a pre-rig version of it.
But yeah, it was like a hot minute since I've like seen one like a great movie. I think the last movie that I saw was like The Boy and the Heron, and then like 2, a movie that I really wanted to talk about. So today we're going to talk about Godzilla Minus One. I don't think it makes a lot of difference whether you've watched the color or the minus one. Like as far as I understand, it's the exact same movie. It's like,
well, yeah.
Hey, I think you're the only person here that's watched the movie normally.
You watched it normally.
I
watched the 3 versions of it. I just realized
yeah, I
that.
know.
I watched normal 40X. And my first time ever doing that. No,
40X must have gone crazy.
Don't watch it.
It was insane. I'm very excited to watch it just normal.
If you're not used to like Japanese movies and subtitles, don't watch that one. Watch that the second time.
That makes sense.
Watch the standard version. No, the black and white one is it's nothing special. It just, if you're a purist like me and Jordan, watch the original film. It feels like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point of I felt like they made that movie is because it's so close to the original, like in like tone, settings, like how serious they take it.
I was texting
set pieces.
He was on Twitter. Khalif, he wants to watch it. I was texting him earlier. He's iffy on it too because you've seen Mad Max. What's the recent Mad Max movie?
Mad Max Fury Road.
What's it? Chromium, right?
No, not that one. Fury Road. It had black and white version. You said he didn't like that. But
no, that's the black
second
and white
movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the black and white version is called. It's like Chromium and some.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that makes sense.
White
that
and
makes sense.
He said even though this is his second movie of all time, favorite movie of all time, the second one, the black and white, kind of makes the movie not as good, I guess, or pleasing.
I've always wanted to see that version of it.
I've never seen it. The only color release and like black and white release that I've seen was Logan.
Everyone said the same
I still
thing.
need to see that version too.
I have the Blu-ray somewhere. I think you need to buy the Blu-ray to watch it in black and white.
That was
really?
That was the trendsetter at the time, wasn't
it? Yeah. Logan was the first one that did it and like dropped the color release and then dropped the black and white release.
Because everyone was like, "We need this in black and white," and I'm like, "Sure." And
was Mad Max after Logan?
I believe so.
Because those are the only two movies I could think of that did that. Like after the release, they did a black and white re-release of it.
Oh, it's called Black and Chrome.
Black and
Chrome.
I thought
it was
called Noir. Logan.
No, it's interesting. Is there like a color version of Sin City?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's like supposed to be comic booky.
Yeah, I know that, but it was originally black and white, but they haven't made a color version.
I think they shot it in... Actually, Fury Road was the first one, so Fury Road was a trendsetter. Logan released in 2017.
Gotcha. That's 2014, right?
Yep. Fury Road is 2015.
Wasn't the Justice League in black and white?
Is 2017.
I got I was thinking about buying a collection. I think it's 5 movies on Blu-ray.
for X-Men or
no, but Mad Max.
Mad Max. Yeah, Mad Max is an old franchise.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just watched RoboCop for the first time the other day. That movie
Really?
fucking rules.
Which one?
yeah,
original,
RoboCop
The
is so
first
fucking
one.
funny.
Yeah, see, it's funny because I'm on this since Blade Runner. I'm kind of in the mood for 80s movies.
Dude, they're so good.
So I want to watch the Terminators again. Like I want to watch those.
I didn't realize I've never really watched the very first Terminator and watched that straight through the other night too.
Terminator 2 is gas.
Oh, also I watched.
Fucking
that's
hell yeah,
weird.
it is.
I've also been on. Get out of my head. I've also been on the same like because I just watched. Well, I watched Escape from L.A., which the '80s one is Escape from New York.
But yeah, Escape from LA is the 90s one, right?
Yeah.
No.
Very 90s.
Dude, do you know that Metal like Snake's Solid Snake is based off of
Is that
the
what
guy
he?
from Escape from New
I-
York? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So in Metal Gear Solid 2, Snake uses an alias to talk to Raiden, and he calls himself Snake Plissken, which is the guy's name from Escape from New York.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's always interesting in Mad
Fun
Max.
fact.
Like I'm in this 80s movie vibe right now.
Dude, they're so good. Like I was talking with we'll talk about Godzilla in a second, but I was talking with Libby about movies the other day and like how much of the market just like doesn't captivate me recently. Like the movie that I saw was the Studio Ghibli film, like Boy and the Heron. And it was a great film, but I haven't seen anything like besides Talk to Me that has really made me want to go into the cinema. And like I miss like the old tone of movies.
I'm going to see Planet of the Apes next month. And,
Nice. That does come out next month.
Yeah, I'm proud to say I'm a fan of that series.
Oh yeah,
The reboots at least.
I haven't seen any of them.
Oh really?
Mm-mm.
Dude,
I've been
Rise of
very
Planet of the Apes.
tangentially attached to it.
No, what was the second one called? That movie was phenomenal. Like really,
Dawn,
really
of,
good.
Dawn of the.
Dawn of the Planet of the
Oh,
Apes.
that Rise of the Planet of the Apes movies. That has the dumbest fucking name. Let me just. I
Yeah,
got
they all have
irritated every
stupid
time I see that
names.
name.
The newest one's called
No,
Kingdom
but
of
the
the
newest
Planet of
one,
the Apes
it's
or
like,
something.
what is the newest one? The Rise of the Dawn
Kingdom
of the
Rise
Planet.
of the Planet. Something.
Yeah, it's something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Rise of the Kingdom of the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something
Dude, but the
really
second
long.
One,
And
second one's gas, dude.
It's the
is
second
that the
one.
one that were
is-
like apes weak together,
Yeah.
apes strong
Yeah, he had
together,
the paint on his face. The first like 10 minutes is raw.
monkeys on horses with
beast.
AKs?
I never thought I'd care about an ape like that. Caesar's cool. I love Caesar.
So hold on. Now I'm curious because, from my understanding, the franchise was about like a dude that like discovered these like sentient apes.
No, they're not. They wasn't never sentient. So they're trying to cure like Alzheimer's and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
they're testing on apes. So they found out this
These are
this
prequels
cure. Yeah, these
to
are
the
prequels.
original Planet of the Apes.
Well,
Gotcha.
no, they're different
Yeah.
canon. This is a different canon.
Well,
This
it's
is-
like how the planet got to become fully
Planet of the
inhabited
Apes.
by apes.
If you can say that the one from the 60s is like the far future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's-
I
I
think
mean,
that's
that's
what
what
they're
it is.
implying.
But
because
what-
he
what
goes
they're
he goes up into space and then they come back to and then it's like a bunch of time has passed and
No, that's a different
some-
timeline. That's a different universe from the 60s one. That's
Is
Mark
that not the
Wahlberg's.
60s one?
No, 60s one like people in makeup with like monkey faces and stuff. You never seen the original one?
No,
No,
but
no,
like
no, and-
what's the story for the original one?
The new trilogy, the new reboot, it links back. It's like the past of the original universe, the original
No.
film.
I think it's his
That's-
own thing.
That's they connected them recently somehow.
Did it recently collect them?
The
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg one is its own your
Yeah,
own
Mark
universe.
Wahlberg is his own thing. Hang
But
on.
But the
60s
James Franco-
one matches up to
Matt
the James
Reeves.
Franco one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Matt Reeves
Because
one
it's
I
just-
think follow the same universe.
But yeah, because it's just a prequel. It's like because like in like the original one, I don't know if they go up in space and they go to another planet, it's apes, or they go back to Earth.
So
But
in the
time,
original
but
one,
the time is okay. In the
Go ahead.
original, what?
yeah, in the original, what I think happens is that this man gets stranded in the Planet of the Apes, but the ending, like he was in space, he crash lands on the Planet of the Apes, and then it was revealed that he's actually in Planet Earth because he like looks up at, he finds the Statue of Liberty. And he like
Oh.
realizes.
This is the entire
So you-
moment.
oh, okay.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
The last
That's like
5
the
minutes.
entire thing.
They're like cops as apes. Lincoln is an ape. That movie is so bad.
It's so funny. But I think that's like
Go
in
ahead.
the original, that's what happens. Like they discover that they are like humans ran away from the Earth, and then they come back, and like the Earth has been dominated by apes.
But he doesn't know that.
Actually,
it's like a big twist at the end of the movie.
Actually, it's really vague because Reddit says it's a reboot, and some people say it's a prequel reboot. So no one really.
It's like a soft reboot. I don't think Matt Reeves intended it for it to be like purely connected, but there was. I read something
Matt
that
Reeves
there was like
is
a
the
connection.
No, he did it first. He did the last two. He didn't do the first one. But people call it the Matt Reeves trilogy. But the quality is like.
I mean, Matt Reeves doesn't miss though.
His input just like destroys the first one. Not the first one is bad or anything, but the quality difference is
just way better. Matt Reeves is a phenomenal director. Like ever since I saw the Batman, I was just like, I want to watch whatever that guy.
Dude,
does.
I want him to make a Batman Beyond movie so bad.
Ooh, that would be fun. Anyway,
no, get Wilson to do it. The guy that's doing Dune.
Villanueva.
Yeah, they got it. They Blade Runner and all that stuff.
I think it would be too slow for a Batman film.
Yeah, I know, but I think he nails the cyberpunk aesthetic perfectly.
He does nail the cyberpunk aesthetic, but
we'll let him produce it and let Matt Reeves direct it.
That'd be a crazy. You know what I really want to see? I want to see like two big directors like collaborate, like co-direct the film. Like could you imagine if like Villeneuve and fucking Matt Reeves collaborated?
I mean, like, Kojima and Jordan Peele's doing that game.
Yeah,
they're doing a movie or something.
But I want to see it like co-direct a movie. I want to see the co-direct a film.
Martin Scorsese and Kevin Feige make a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that'd be fucking crazy. Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima make a horror movie. I'm in. 100%.
Oh, dude, no, Jordan Peele and Del Toro make a movie. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be crazy. That'd be fucking
black
crazy.
People staring like this constantly. I don't like Jordan Peele movies. I'm a minority.
They have.
He goes too hard on the social message sometimes. It kind of like fucks with the movie, but like the movies are really well made.
He makes a good like creepy aesthetic though. Like it's like.
Get Out.
He can make a good horror movie. It's just like this. The messaging though, I think it needs to be like.
Not in the messaging. It's like I swear, I feel like they're the only one who did not like Get Out.
You're in the minority for sure. You're in the minority for sure. But a lot of people like gravitated towards Get Out because of the social commentary. I really liked Get Out because the movie was well made, in my opinion, more so than the social commentary. I didn't like Us as much, and I loved.
People didn't like that movie actually. It was really mixed.
Yeah, it's a really mixed review movie. What's the movie with the fucking monkey and the shoe and the
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, like I really like Nope.
Yeah, people like Nope. But Us, I remember Nux was actually mixed with everyone. Like he just didn't even care for. He just announced a new movie today. The trailer came out today. I didn't watch it
today.
It's like an action. It's like a Indian John Wick movie.
What a crazy.
He's producing it though. He's not directing it.
Oh, I want to watch that. Did you guys tell me about the? I guess he's deaf.
With Dev Patel.
What's the guy that played the guy in Suicide Squad? He plays this deaf John Wick character or something. You've seen trailers of it.
Donnie Yen?
No.
Donnie Yen was blind. Is there a deaf guy in John Wick?
Wait. No, he said Suicide Squad.
Yeah, what's the guy that plays
Suicide Squad? What the fuck am I on about?
Suicide Squad, there was a deaf... I'm trying to think. There was
deaf guy, Suicide Squad.
There was John Cena. There was
he's not deaf in Suicide Squad. He just plays in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But this actor is in this new action movie like John Wick, but I think he's deaf in this movie. It's like Christmas. It's a Christmas action movie.
Is it Idris
Elba?
Elba?
Came out like last year or something. No, it's a white guy.
He's the guy that plays Rick.
John Kinman.
Yeah.
Joel Kinman. I'm sorry.
Joel Kinnaman.
I think that's him. Yeah.
It's aggressive. Yeah, his name. That dude's face makes me uncomfortable.
What?
He just reminds me of somebody. He just makes me uncomfortable.
Well, it's called Silent Night. I want to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I heard it was awful though.
Silent Night. That's funny. That's a very funny for him to be deaf.
Yeah, I think he's deaf, and he's like
you won't hear it coming.
It's like one of those movies you watch on TNT or something.
His blind sidekick is like, you won't see it coming.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's talk about Goji.
Godzilla.
Crockett, I put you first. I put you to go first. You want to give us your thoughts about Goji, or you want to like piggyback off of one of us?
Mine are gonna be the weakest, probably because I haven't seen it since it came out the first time. I saw it like opening weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
No spoilers, probably.
God
I don't want to
damn,
give
hold
spoilers
on.
just yet.
15, 20 minutes for each part. Jesus.
Oh.
15, 20 minutes. What?
You said 15, 20 minutes
Oh,
for
yeah,
each
yeah,
of
yeah.
us.
Listen, it's roughly 45 minutes.
Okay.
Who cares? Yeah, who
Gotcha.
cares?
Gotcha.
I'll give you
see
as
how it
much as
goes.
I can.
Yeah.
This is. I don't know if that. I don't want to say it's probably one of been my favorite Godzilla, but it's definitely probably one of the best stories I've ever gotten.
Like the best well-crafted
Very close,
Godzilla.
like 1954's levels of like acting, pretty much where I felt like if you took Godzilla completely out of that movie, I would have been fine just watching that movie. That's how well that movie was. And it's like true fashion of like every Godzilla film, but which Godzilla fans and a lot of people don't realize is like it's people first, Godzilla second. Godzilla is just a set piece in these movies. He's never the main character. So what makes a good Godzilla movie is there's good human characters, and we got excellent acting. We got an incredible story, and overall just a great movie. Visual effects were great. The movie didn't I don't think the movie dragged too long either. Like it just had a great pacing, great action sequences, shocking jaw-dropping moments. Everything kept me on my edge of my seat like all the time. There's nothing. I was never really bored or anything. There's never a lot of downtime with it. Everything felt engaging, even though I was watching this 4DX. So even in the silent parts of the movie where my seat is still kind of like rocking around a bit. So take what I'm saying as a grain of salt because I was watching it kind of like a little off kilter. But man,
I still think all of that like applies. Like I would agree with.
Yeah, it's just a
everything
weird way to
about
watch
that,
that movie. Just like to watch something like it's like watching like I guess like Shutter Island, but like your shit's moving around, or like I don't know like the Green Mile, but your seat moves around like with the chairs.
When he gets electrocuted, your chair vibrates. You know?
Yeah, like stuff like that. But I thought all the characters were very interesting. I thought the messaging was pretty deep.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, like I think. If I had to put it up I have to put it up there on the tier of like 1954 Shin Godzilla. I would actually probably say this is better than Shin Godzilla with story wise.
Yeah,
this is probably the best story that we've gotten since 54. To be honest,
it's honestly it's funny that you say that because like part of like what felt to me like I watched the movie in black and white. I didn't see the color version yet. And like part of the appealing version of the movie, the appealing factor of the movie in black and white was that it felt, I think, thematically like a remake of the original.
Yeah.
You know, it felt very close to the 1954 like anti-war sentiments, anti-fascism sentiments, like anti-nuclear attacks sentiment.
Essentially, this was a spiritual successor.
It's like a unintentional
or a spiritual
remake. Yeah. Like you can tell he wasn't trying to remake the 1954, but he just so happened to be the same time period or close.
Yeah.
You
know? But it wasn't like one-to-one remake or anything.
No, I think it really was just like a thematic remake. It was
his own thing. Yeah.
Like they're telling the same story with the same ideas, but like very different interpretations of it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we got a black and white version of it.
Because
it's so close to the original.
And like I gotta say, like the acting was like fucking incredible.
Oscar worthy.
Yeah,
really.
Funny enough, it won a nomination for best visual effects, which I think is well deserved. This movie looks phenomenal. The explosion effects, like the nuclear explosion effects, or the heat ray effects, and everything that exploded looked fucking incredible in that movie. Like I would love to see a VFX breakdown on how they did the water sims, how they did the explosion sims, because they were fucking phenomenally well done.
They felt heavy. They had a weight to them.
Yeah, there's only one part of the film where I thought like it was a little clunky.
There was one shot.
Yeah,
I know exactly what show you're talking about.
And Shin Godzilla had the exact same thing too,
Talking
where
about
they
when he's
also
by
did
the Capitol looking thing. That shot
yeah,
by the
and
train
it, like,
station.
He turns, and it's like a little janky. It's like a little like the movement. It's like the weight of it. It's like they didn't like have that slowness in certain areas, so it just comes off a little too fast.
Yeah, there was
But
one
the same
shot
problem-
where. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say like Shin Godzilla had the exact same problem in it too, where he just moved way too quickly, and it's the same shot too. So I don't know if it's just like trying to get the weight of that, or it's just the way the model is when they they CGI that or something. But it just looks
Japan,
they just do it always too fast.
They really haven't really been in terms of Hollywood level, in terms of like animation and
I think what
in general.
happens, because I know what show you're talking about. It's always like a low angle, looking upwards like Godzilla shot that comes off really weird in the CG.
Yeah,
And I think it's because he looks really, really, really good from a wide perspective. The further he is from the camera, kind of like the better he looks, because the detail is enough in the model. But I feel like when they have to composite him really up close, something about like the composition just never quite works out the way that they want it to.
right.
There's just some shots like mid to high level shots. It's really high detail model. He looks good.
It's an
in
amazing
shots,
model.
but it's more the animation issue than actually how he looks.
Yeah.
When he's tailing behind the boat and you can just see his eyes. And
That's what I was thinking of when I said
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
that is so high quality of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
just small
you can
little
feel
things.
the rage in his eyes. It reminds
You can
me
see-
of 28
the
Days
te- well,
Later. Those
what?
zombies. It reminds me of that rage they had. I see that in
Yeah.
that Godzilla.
Well, just the texturing on its face, like the texturing was so well done. You could tell how jaggedy it was.
and when he
Yeah.
heals
Like-
up because of scars.
Like you could reach out and touch it, you would know what it'd feel like. That's how well done they did that up close shot.
Didn't know Godzilla could do that, by the way.
What?
I didn't
Do
know
what?
he could regen.
He's like Wolverine.
Yeah, I didn't know he had a
Yeah.
fucking healing factor.
Yeah, that's an old thing.
Yeah.
That's like
So,
the radiation. Like the radiation
Yeah,
lets
it
them
mutates
them
generate.
and changes. Well, in this universe, it's been confirmed by the director. Godzilla already had really good regeneration abilities.
Before the mutation.
The mutation just made it amplified, like times 100 or whatever.
So let me ask you this, because you two are like bona fide Goji guys. What's the like? Was he like did he exist already as like a giant kaiju, and then he got blasted with radiation, or was he like an animal, normal prehistoric animal that got blasted with radiation?
It depends on each incarnation. So, like,
Yeah.
in this universe, I was thinking about this other one. This is the most vague one, even more vague than Shin Godzilla. So in the original 54 film, he was just a prehistoric
vague?
dinosaur.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say vague.
Well, we
Shin
don't know
Godzilla
he-
way more vague.
We don't know where he came from. Like they don't talk about like
Well,
him
they
being
show
hit
it.
by radiation.
Well,
or,
okay, we're gonna all right. Let's dip
So
into
the-
spoilers for it.
so-
All right, so after this point, we're going to spoilers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like in
Okay,
the original film, he was a prehistoric dinosaur that got mutated from radiation testings.
Right.
Same with this one too, but in this universe, he's aware, like he's an inhabitant of the old island.
Yeah.
So when he comes up, he brings like fish from biotrauma. That's why they look so weird from the
Yeah.
the pressure. And they
Same as the
acknowledge
first
him.
one.
Well, they used him. They used to use people as sacrifices for the original one. He used to be like a myth, or like old legends or something.
That's interesting.
And this one is so weird because like we know that older inhabitants know who he is, but you would think news would travel like there's a giant sea monster here,
Yeah.
but they don't really acknowledge that. It's like a known thing apparently. And
Well,
but we don't.
it's like myth. It's just like legend, urban legend to him.
But the thing is, people sing him. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
Yeah,
word of mouth. You got to think of the time period too. And
The
everything.
inhabitants of the Odo Island like recognized him as a creature that they had to deal with,
Yeah.
because he came up the island a few times, and the last time he came up with Shikishima
Yeah.
was when he killed all the pilots because he was angry about like the whatever was going on there. And it was like baby Gogeta, right? At that point, like it was like still a baby.
No, it's not like a baby. It's just a prehistoric. That's its normal form before it's all the radiation and everything.
Yeah, that's his natural
Gotcha.
form. And that's the only time second time we've seen something like that, where the original we just get Godzilla already mutated. This one we see him actually mutate even though it's breathed.
Like,
We see his
actually, like-
natural form here.
That's cool. That's cool.
So like in Shin Godzilla, it is considered that the scientist that goes missing on a boat, he gets mutated into becoming Shin Godzilla.
Oh,
So that's the first time we ever got a human as Godzilla.
No, they say it was like some prehistoric creature that is fed on a nuclear dump. But they say the human aspect of him, like the bone ending, was probably him thrown into the mutation or something because of suicide. It's really iffy in Shin Godzilla.
That's always considered like that's why there was humanoids popping out of him at the end of Shin Godzilla anyway. It's like
Shin Godzilla's a wild movie.
Because where that tail shows up is like they just find the boat and then it's just like his suicide note and he's like do as you like, and you can tell he was angry about all the dumping and everything. So I always just interpret it as it was him mutated.
Well, it depends because if you see how Shin Godzilla works, he changes to what he adapts to.
Yeah,
humans was a problem towards him, so let's turn to a human myself. That's the real answer for it. But I've always been confused. I still understand today with the scientists and the suicide note. It's still being like talked today. Like we don't really know. Like you could throw that part out in the movie and nothing would change. It's so
That's
weird.
funny. I don't remember Godzilla going kind of human in.
But if you take the 90 or like Godzilla or Zilla, like the 98 Matthew Broderick Godzilla, it's a iguana. It's a 1950s iguana. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Mutated by the French nuclear testing.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh, you call this coffee?
Coffee?
That's the most quotable Godzilla movie for all the wrong reasons.
I love how when at the time you're the only person that quoted that and the only one that understood that reference. And you said it randomly that day. You said it randomly, and I looked at him like, you know that?
What you know about that?
Or the Alan.
Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah, the dream. That's a Velociraptor having a dream, right?
Yeah.
Like that they're having a dream.
Alan. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What other weird mutations has Godzilla had?
And then Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah is like a time travel movie. They show a Godzillasaurus. That's the first time we ever see that before Minus One. Yeah, he gets mutated from a bomb too.
Space Godzilla was Godzilla's skin got shot off into space and then like warped on some crystals and then cells regenerate around a crystal.
Yeah,
sounds
ridiculous, but I love it.
This franchise is crazy.
Bionte. If you know who Bionte is, that's Godzilla's DNA just into a plant.
With his scientist daughter.
So it's technically like plant Godzilla.
It's a plant-human Godzilla hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
what
fascinating.
else? There's another one, right? I guess Destroyer wouldn't be. That's like the hydrogen bomb.
He's the oxygen destroyer.
But it's a hydrogen bomb. It's mixed in with Godzilla's DNA, and
no,
it's just completely.
The destroyer is like oxygen destroyer. He's the thing that killed Godzilla that mutated. Yeah. So he's like the antithesis of Godzilla itself.
He's the anti-venom.
And if you want to get like really muddy in the waters, like Mecha Godzilla is just the bones of like the original Godzilla.
Yeah, that shit's wild. It's crazy to me that we went from like a movie that was like an anti-nuclear sort of sentiment thing, and it spawned just a whole bunch of crazy shit. Mm-hmm. And then like now in 2024, we have another version of Godzilla that's like super grounded, super emotionally centered, and like a phenomenally well-written movie.
I know you mentioned like the so this movie, even though Godzilla and towards was like nuclear themes, you don't really see that often in Minus One. It is barely mentioned. Like they mentioned like when Godzilla came, stay away from the area after he destroyed the city because radiation, and that's it. And usually
that's the only time that they mention it by like sound or like they say it by dialogue. But the imagery of like Godzilla's heat ray is like the exact same as an atomic bomb. The
destruction is like they lead more to the visual destruction,
like a walking representation.
Yeah. They lead more to the destruction side of it than actually saying like, oh, radiation is bad, like the original.
Yeah, and like it's so more like the sentiment for this Godzilla is more like war in general is
stupid,
is bad and like not worth
ridiculous. I was thinking about it coming home, like. The movie actually makes fun of Japanese government. Like how
Yeah,
shitty
it's
it
a
is.
super anti
Yeah.
like Japanese government film.
Yeah.
In terms of like the idea, like because back in World War II, like the culture for kamikaze pilots was that like if you didn't die as a kamikaze pilot, you were like a disgrace. And
Yeah.
in this
You're a
movie,
failure,
like
yeah.
yeah, you're a failure. You didn't die for your country. In this movie, they take the opposite thing. When they're like at the end, you get these two characters who has a like a stick up their ass about not being successful, like pilots and dying for the country, and it redeems them and it tells them like, no, you should live for your country, like you shouldn't die. That's stupid. Life is like
Don't
too
throw
cheap.
away your. Yeah, don't throw away your life.
Yeah, they were like life gets treated really cheaply. Save yourself, spend time with your families, whatever. And like a really heartfelt like monologue by the doctor, who was my favorite character. I love that.
Oh
dude.
yeah, same dude. I love that guy.
Yeah, such a sweetie.
I fucking love the entire cast, dude.
Dude,
The
it's
third
great.
watch is probably my favorite viewing of this movie.
That's awesome. What
yeah.
made it so different from the first two?
I don't, because one is clear as subtitle got interested. Like the second viewing, I understand more context was going on. But the third one's like, damn, after I finished watching it, like I hope we come back to these casts again. Like,
Dude, they're so good.
they're
the guy
so
that
good.
played the guy that played Cheekshima,
Yeah,
phenomenal.
he's awesome. Yeah, when he finds
Great
out
actor.
I love the scene where he and Godzilla destroys the city, and he just lets all his anger, frustration, fear, all that out in that scream. Then he comes to the scene where they're planning to defeat Godzilla, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill this thing," and he's
fucking
like
pissed.
and he tells Noda, the scientist, like, "Can we kill it or not?" And Noda's like, "I don't know," and he walks out. Then they were like, "Hold on, come back." I love that about him. Like he's like he just feel of revenge right now. Like he's tired. I'm gonna end this now, and it's so good.
The character arc for him was so purposefully written. I just can't help but like love it, because it's like that guy. He's scared. He doesn't die for his country. He thinks he's a
human.
failure.
Yeah,
Comes back super traumatized. Meets this one lady and her kid. It was not even her kid. Noriko and Akiko. Which, by the way, is the name Akiko connected to something like in the universe?
no, not that I know
Okay.
of.
I remember Akiko being like a significant name, but
Okay, I don't know.
I think it's awesome. I think like his journey is phenomenal, where he's like, "Oh, I couldn't die. I'm a failure." Gets PTSD, gets better, goes through the most awful loss of his life so far,
Yeah,
and like comes back in the end, making the decision to like not kill himself to kill Godzilla. And I think that like that's such a significant like writing point, because it's like what the doctor said like landed, and Tachibana-san. Why did I say it like that? Tachibana, the mechanic.
Respect. You showing respect.
The mechanic was like such a good, like those two characters had been so traumatized by war, and seeing them walk out at the end of like fighting Godzilla with like their war being over, the way that Shikishima put it, was just like such a good emotional payoff for those characters. I was just so happy that like Noriko was alive and like that character got to spend time with his family again.
It's funny. So my first and second viewing, I didn't like that ending. The third viewing, like, okay, let him rest. He deserved that.
Man's tired.
So I like
Don't die for your country, live for your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I thought that was like a cheap like excuse to bring her back. Like, oh no, she should have died from that. But it comes off if she died, it'd be like cheap sense of like what's the word? Just to feel more bad about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let a character in these movies or any movies, sometimes we don't really see them get the reward really.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah, so
and I think that's just like that's a recent trend in movies where like characters like just really are forced to live a tragedy.
Yeah,
and I think that we should get back to getting a little bit of a happier ending. Like we're all tired.
Yeah,
let's fucking let these people rest. I wanted to ask you: did you notice Noriko's neck at the end of the
I was
movie?
about to ask that.
Yeah.
I was about to ask if you noticed it.
What the fuck was that about?
It could be just cancer or some kind of radiation poisoning or whatever.
That's what. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought she was like mutating.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like a lot of people say that she did die, and she's been
Godzilla's energy,
and then she regenerated.
Oh,
and
interesting.
that is a scar from it.
Well, that could.
That is like one of the working theories about that.
Wouldn't that mean everyone got revived then?
Maybe it's just because, well, she was so close to him when she was on the train that maybe because she was so close to the radiation that maybe that's why she was able to regenerate or something like that.
Yeah. No. I think it would be like she was just at the right distance for the radiation to like not fully kill her.
Yeah. Well, it's like nuclear. Well, real life.
Because people are pretty like sure like she died.
I mean,
like,
yeah, she got blasted to shit.
No, probably more like the knowledge of like, you know, when people got affected by radiation from the bomb that survived, they died months to years later.
Yeah.
So it could be just like a homage to that real life situation there.
Which honestly, with how grounded the film is, I think that's the more accurate answer.
Well, it seems like the last two Japanese Godzilla films that we've got, there's always a little bit of like, what if, like they like leaving stuff up in the air for it, almost.
Yeah, Shin Godzilla was like blue balls.
Yeah. Well, I think they were going to make a Godzilla 2 or a Shin Godzilla 2, and they just.
No, I don't think so.
They were just like, we're just gonna do -1 now.
-1 is in consideration, but I don't want them to go. The reason this movie is so successful because it has a serious tone to it.
Yeah,
I get like I love the MonsterVerse movies. I love the old '90s movies, action based. But it's okay to have these movies. It's okay to have like a grounded trilogy or something. It's
a drama.
Fine.
It's like a proper drama.
Yeah, I don't want them like the radiation thing is kind of getting to that like that the goofiness side of the series. I don't want them to make. I want them to stay grounded.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't want them to go far.
But grounded
off the
movies
rails.
don't get like. But that's the thing. Like grounded movies don't get sequels like that.
Well, I don't think it needs one either. I think -1 is like
this movie is an anomaly. Like it's
Well, it might not get like a direct sequel, but they might do like another one of these.
Because he already
in the same tone.
He already said, the director says like he's acknowledged what I'm saying or criticized like Toho's been doing these one-offs movies. He wants to bring in another monster in.
Got you.
So I don't know how they're going to handle that.
I think that can happen very grounded. I think that could happen in the same sort of idea. I think that the relationship that Godzilla has with other monsters can still come through like in a very grounded way.
I don't see it happening though. Like, I think
it's
as long as they have good human characters and a good human through line story, that those are just set pieces to kind of further along and to kind of motivate those characters, then I think that can work.
I think that can work too, because like I picture like another monster attacking Tokyo, or like another part of the world, whatever the fuck the storyline is, but attacking like that region, and then them trying to figure out how to kill it again, and then like the scientist goes like, "Listen, I know that we fucking sank the guy, but like I think he's the only one that can beat him." And then like trying to like
2014.
We gotta team up.
Trying to like bring him back, and then like figure out how to like make them fight, or like how to like coax them to fight, and then having this whole drama of like, we fucking killed it. It was going to destroy us. Why do you want to bring him back? And the guy going like, we fucking have to do something, dude. Like, well, I see that Thor line.
He revives, and they might go to the message like, we just got to accept that Godzilla's a thing.
Yeah, and I think that's
do
what
nothing about him. Yeah.
And I think that fits in well with the message of the movie, because the movie is kind of like, war is just like this really shitty, disgusting thing, but it like we can't not end it. Like we're constantly in conflict, and I think that like accepting that Godzilla, because I feel like that happened at some point in the franchise where people were like,
the original did that. Yeah. Like they acknowledged that he always exists, or something like that always exists. Yeah,
it's the new normal. Which is like really fun, because like when I think about the kaiju universe, like I think of something like Pacific Rim, where it's just like they had to develop this weird fighting thing to fight against kaijus because they were just so there all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a way to bring that into an universe where it's grounded and like weird with the characters.
Well, it's kind of like the Monarch show or like Pacific Rim, where it's like they could do a lot of world building where they have whole entire cultures around this stuff, and you know, you can see how it affects like everyday life, where they have shelters built in place, or they have like people go to a market and people have Godzilla scales that they're trying to sell or something.
That shit's so fucking cool, dude. I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I eat it up.
Yeah.
Is that in the Monarch show?
Yeah, it's so
people
good
selling Godzilla scales? Fuck yeah, dude.
It's like
well,
you said,
they
like
have like the
evacuation
emergency
plans and all that stuff.
Yeah, like they have like emergency apps, or like they have like a alert on your phone the like, Godzilla attack is coming, like get
like
to
a natural
Godzilla
disaster.
Shelter.
Yeah,
like it's like you would treat it like a hurricane.
It's so cool.
I love that. Geeking right now.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Pretty much like that's how they treated Shin Godzilla. Was like they were after Godzilla ran through the first time, they were looking at the instructions, and you could have taken, if you didn't know it was a Godzilla film, you would think that like it was a
tsunami
typhoon.
movie.
Just ran through, and it was a natural disaster. So
Yeah,
that's
imagery
pretty much
was-
what he was supposed to implicate.
Yeah, it looked just like the people haven't seen the. I remember that day. It happened. I was at school. And the what is it? Tsunami? Was it earthquake? They called it tsunami.
That was
And
a
then it had
tsunami.
a nuclear
And they
Fukushima.
handled it really terribly, but the damage like mimics in the movie like perfectly.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it looked and all that.
Well, that's what that Shin Godzilla is supposed to be based off of, like how
they're based off
poorly
that
they
event.
handled that incident.
Yeah,
That's so interesting to me. That's why I loved like the serious movies like these, because like they feel like a source of like just a director going like, humans, this is how humans would handle this, and it would go poorly.
Well, it's just
like
like-
9 times out of 10.
They use Godzilla as a motion to push forward like a representation of
basically.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a metaphor.
Prop.
He's like a metaphor.
he's a
yeah.
metaphor.
You can
people
replace
just
him
like
with like
giant
any
monsters.
natural atrocity that like humankind has done, or any natural disaster, and it like would work just the same.
Anything large, you can just replace it with Godzilla, and then it would just work.
Yeah, just catastrophic fucking damage.
And that's how you make it. That's essentially how you make a good Godzilla film.
Yeah,
Make him
But-
represent some. Yeah.
and that's the thing that I really liked about the movie is that, like, Godzilla was in the movie for like 40 minutes. It's a 2-hour and like something movie, and Godzilla showed up at
Shit,
the
less than
beginning.
that maybe.
Yeah, it's like a 2 hour and 2 minutes, I think. Godzilla showed up at the beginning of the movie where they introduced him in the Otto Island. He showed up in Ginza when he like completely fucked
showed
that
up.
shit up. He showed up at the boats, like
they're
when they first see him in the boat where they like like shoot a mine
mines.
at him.
Yeah.
Which that was the first time that I had like an oh fuck moment in a Godzilla movie.
Really?
Like when the guy, because I didn't know that he regenerated.
Yeah.
And so like the guy dropped a mine in his mouth.
Thought it was over.
And I was just like, it's just like, that's not, I knew, I was like, that's not going to hurt him. Like, it's fine. Like, Godzilla's going to just swallow that and get indigestion, maybe. And then, like, it fucking exploded, his face half gone. And then Godzilla just, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? He can do that?
Do you know why? So in -1, this is his original size. He's like 50 meters.
Yeah.
So the reason they made him smaller because it impacts to make the fear more bigger because he's more personal now. Like you see, like the 90s Godzilla is like 100 meters tall, monstrous meters. He don't see you. He's just stepping on you. So it's not
he's
as
just walking.
scary as seeing like a giant bear coming at you instead of like a giant 300 size bear coming at you because he won't notice you.
Can we talk about just how like the realistic of destruction? Like you can actually see in this Godzilla film, like people running in between his toes.
Yeah.
Like they are like they put a bunch of people right next to his foot, and those people are all fucking dead.
This is
Dude,
probably
that
the
was, go
first
ahead,
time he
Ted.
killed anyone on screen.
Yeah. There was one shot where he took a step and the road came up and like hundreds of
flopped.
people just went.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like rubber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was crazy. It was good. But like he's in 4 acts of the movie. He's in like 4 sequences in the movie. One of them is really small. The best Godzilla movie that I've seen in terms of like him just being a fucking natural disaster. Like there is nothing about him that's like overwhelmingly, he's like neutral in morality. He's just like, that's my island and you guys are fucking it up.
Well, he's
All
a
right,
victim.
get
too.
out of here.
He's a victim of war. You're
Yeah.
at his home. He got hit by the bomb. He didn't ask for none of that stuff.
Exactly,
He's
yeah.
venting his rage on the environment around him.
And I just thought that was so well done. And like all of the drama between Noriko and Akiko and the, I forget the doctor's name.
Noda. Something Noda.
Noda, yeah.
Yeah.
And like the kid and the other guy, like all of those, like that group of people, seemingly normal human beings, like being affected by this thing to the degree where like they risked their life with no government sponsorship to go on a fucking
citizen.
couple of
Proud
boats
citizens. Yeah.
and then just fucking go fight this thing. Like that is crazy.
That entire scene with the general is like, this isn't an order. You're obligated to leave and go with your families. I love that scene.
Me too.
Because it's like, screw the government. We just got us. The U.S. ain't going to help us. Our government ain't going to help us. So someone got to kill this thing. Because if it doesn't kill it, it's going to come back. So we do it. But that scene there, he just tell everyone, like, hey, you can go home. I won't argue against you. I get it.
Yeah, you're not forced to do this.
He said we already went through war. I don't want you pitching war again, but there's a job we got to do here. So it's so good.
And like one guy even was like in that room, the one guy was just like, well, this beats war. Like,
yeah, it beats
better than water.
Yeah,
which I just thought was it was awesome.
And the other guy was like behind him. He was like, well, someone's got to do it, so we can drive ships.
Yeah.
So
that scene when Noda was doing the demo and like Shikishima was like going like, can we kill this motherfucker? Felt like I was watching 12 Angry Men. Like that was like the feeling of the drama there.
Oh, because it's black and white too. I never registered that. Yeah,
black and white. It's just like a bunch. It's like this angry dude being like, we have to deal with this, and some other dude going like, dude, I don't know if we can, but like I'm trying to help. And like that whole conversation. I got a little film nerdy here, admittedly, because that whole conversation to me, like the blocking for that conversation was phenomenal. The way that these characters moved in that room and the way that the camera followed them and like the way that it was cut was just like such a great, I think, like tension builder for the scene where like by the time that Shikishima's about to walk out and the director is out of focus behind them.
Yeah, he's out of focus.
And he's making that decision of like, do I stay or do I like live with my anger? Like, what do I do here?
So
like,
he's pushing him out his life or whatever.
Yeah. So, like, the idea is that, like, these two characters are now at odds, right? And they're, like, there are rooms distance apart. And, like, the Shikishima is, like, at a turning point in his life where if he goes away, he's never going to face his trauma and, like, heal from it. But if he stays, he's risking his life for a country that deemed him a coward. So, like, what choice did this character make? And, like, he's out of focus, and then we cut to him as Noda's, like, persuading him to stay, and then we cut back to Shikishima with the doctor being out of focus. And, like, you feel the disconnect there, and then the camera racks on Noda when he makes the decision to stay.
That's cool. I never realized it till you mentioned that. Yeah.
Fucking just amazing. It was, like, amazing filmmaking. And it was, like, in my opinion, the best scene of the film. And this is a movie where, like, a giant lizard destroys Tokyo and it looks incredible. And like that was the best looking, I think, film, and that was like the best looking part of the film for me because it's like the filmmaking is informing the emotional state of these characters. And like the small house that Akiko and Noriko and Shikishima are living in, just like they're forced to be in like such small quarters and they clearly want to be intimate, but they're not letting themselves be intimate in this environment. It's just amazing filmmaking. I love every second of every character having a conversation with each other because you could really
it's like a
tell.
5-course meal for your eyes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with these movies. Like again, I love these movies to death, but they never capture the audiences the way they Minus One did.
Yeah.
Like there's a story people and characters people care about here. And there's also the giant monster for food, like candy. That's the candy part of the movie.
Yeah.
But we got something. We're not just eating candy constantly or waiting for the candy. We got something healthy here to eat, and it's good.
We got
for
some
you.
broccoli.
You're enjoying like a good steak, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, there's dessert."
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. The final confrontation with Godzilla was probably the most like excited that I was watching.
Oh, he's driving to his mouth. He looks badass. They were the pilot.
Dude, fuck, dude.
The soundtrack is so good. This movie, dude.
The soundtrack is amazing. Like everything about that final confrontation was just like when Godzilla showed up at the docks. I was like, dude, he's supposed to like not be here. Like he's supposed to be way farther away. What the fuck are we gonna do?
Like,
about
oh no!
Yeah, it screws the plan, but they're like, let's do it anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just such a great encapsulation of like, I know it's a meme, but kind of like the indomitable human will of the situation. It's just like it's just like I think it encapsulated the idea that like people don't give up even under the most like extreme circumstances.
Well, that was us. I mean, that's also like a representation of like Japan after the war, about how like war torn it was, and like how like the will of the people kept moving forward no matter what, even after being absolutely decimated by 2 nuclear bombs.
That's what they said. Like when he thought he was dreaming, he was like thinking this all a death, whatever.
Yeah, like I'm already dead. Like, this is just a dream.
Yeah, the girl was like, like, hey, we all have, even though you didn't fulfill your honor, she thinks that there's a reason for us to be alive. There's a reason for us we met each other.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And she wants to make that fruition here. There's a reason to live here.
Mm-hmm. And I just think for like such a movie like surrounded by like cataclysmic destruction, it ultimately had like a very uplifting anti-fascist, anti-war message that I like really appreciated. I loved everything that was going on with this movie, from the script through like the acting, which is like there's something like very comforting about Japanese cinema. Like every time I watch a Japanese live action movie, not a Japanese animated, but like Japanese acting is very like physical. Like
I
these people.
understand what you're saying. Yeah, I get.
There's like there's the like the blocking is very physical. The camera's very active. The characters move a lot. Like that scene in where Tachiban-san finds Shikishima and he's just beating his ass. Brutal. That is like 3 punches, and like that was brutal. They just do a good job of like capturing heightened emotions.
Like after they find out.
Yeah. Just like the little like
a lot of more actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
I think in their
Hey Bryan, for Minus One, did you get that preview of that Japanese movie? What's it called? Perfect Days, Good Days.
I didn't make it to the previews.
Oh, got you. But it was when you said physical, I thought about that. They got like this little short film, coming to theaters. I guess I think it's called Perfect Days, Good Days. I can't remember. It was for Minus One color because it was on the previous.
Yeah, it's Perfect Days.
Yeah, look at the trailer.
It's a whole movie. It's a whole movie.
It was a whole movie.
Yeah,
that sounds like something you said when it says like feels physical. That movie, that show, whatever it is, shot like that.
It
remind me of that.
Yeah, there's just something about the way that they move, something about the way that they like express their face.
Yeah, it's called Perfect Days, this movie. Yeah,
I feel like they are communicating so much more than like American filmmaking often does. Here, and like their popcorn films are probably the same. Like this is an outlier. Like this is like a big Japanese kind of foreign film. So I don't know if like all of their media is like this, but I do like the acting for Japanese movies always makes me feel something a little extra.
It's different. It's weird because it's acting, but you don't think it's like layers of acting either.
Actors.
Yeah, actors.
Patrick
face. Actors.
I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys cry at all during this movie? Any like emotional scenes? Because there are some emotional scenes in this movie.
But the scene I hate them is like I hate it. Because it hits home is when the little girl cries for her mom. That reminds me of something years ago, and it feels real. Like that felt like a real scene there. You know?
That was rough. I didn't cry throughout the film, but there were moments like that where like the girl asked for mommy, and I was just like, that's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's like a real scene there.
I'm taking Florsal to see it tonight, and I'm gonna like look over after like that scene happens. I'm like, is she crying?
Wait, who's going?
I'm taking I'm gonna go see it in colorless tonight. I'm taking Florsal with me this time, so I want to see if she's gonna cry during it or not.
That's really funny.
It takes a lot of me to cry at movies, really.
Me too. The scene where Shikishima finds out that Noriko is alive, that one almost did me in for like a hot second. And it's just like, go ahead.
Speaking of Godzilla, the first movie I ever cried at, was Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
Yeah, because he blew up.
7-year-old me was devastated.
No,
you're not supposed to kill your hero here.
Man was grieving.
That was the first movie I ever cried, dude.
That's so funny. That is amazing. I didn't cry in this movie, but there were a couple of times where I was like, definitely like, fucking, like, wow, this
the movie kept me completely engaged. I didn't cry. I think I teared up a little bit, and it's because it tugs on your heartstrings a lot. Especially the opening, like probably like not the very opening, but like right after the first kind of like towards the end of the first act where it's just like he's coming back home. He's dealing with all this shit. There's a child involved now. He's just trying to get his shit together. And he's just miserable with his life. And he's like, just every worst thing that's ever happened has happened to him.
Yep.
It's like, I was like, I didn't die in the war like a hero. Like, my parents are fucking dead. My neighbor hates me. I gotta take care of this child now. What the fuck?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That it's a Godzilla movie, but it feels real.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel
Like I said, like you could take Godzilla completely out of that movie and still be an amazing movie.
Like have you seen movies or games like it's trying to be edgy and dark,
Yeah.
but it don't feel like warranted enough to be that way. Well, this one feels like a real situation here. Like, oh, people gonna hate me when I come home because my one, if I didn't kill myself, that means millions of other people died because of my fault. You know, you feel that. Gotta build your new home. The next thing you know, after 2 years of recovery, some giant monster destroys it again. What did you do? All that time period of recovering the city, and now it's just wiped out instantly.
Yeah, it feels like it's gone out the window, and then you have to recover again, and then you have 10 days to do it before you think about flying your fucking plane into the mouth of this thing.
It also doesn't feel like an Oscar bait either. It doesn't feel like they're overly trying to make it like emotional or anything like that. It just feels real and grounded.
I'm pretty sure they don't even
think
of that, man, making this right. How does Hollywood and Japanese media is this like an anomaly going on right now with this movie?
Well, the Oscars, the Academy has traditionally kind of like stayed within American media. They have a category called Best Foreign Film for movies that are foreign that release in the U.S. But it is not until recently when we started seeing a little bit more commonly that movies that just released in the U.S., like it's a foreign film but it released in the U.S., being up for nominations like Best Visual Effects or Best Acting or whatever.
What did Parasite win?
Best Picture.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was Best Picture.
I think it was Best Picture too, I think. That's 2014, 15?
2019.
Parasite?
Oh. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so Parasite was the first non-English language film to win Best Picture.
That's cool.
I remember. Do you remember like the conversation around that was like everyone was going to see it and then they're like, oh, this movie since it has subtitles.
Yeah, people were being like really racist about it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like
it was that, and then they got really bad when Squid Games came out.
Yeah. God. That's a conversation for another day.
It blows my mind. People are like that. Well,
we had that podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did. We mentioned it before. It just blows my mind. People are like that.
It's really dumb. It's really fucking dumb. In fact, I read an article, and I tweeted about it. You may have seen it. But it was a article written by Entertainment Weekly that said, oh, Godzilla got nominated for like Best Picture. That's the good news. The bad news is that Kong still has more Best Picture. Godzilla didn't get nominated for Best Picture. Got nominated for Best Visual Effects. And like the article was just like, hey, Godzilla Minus One got nominated for like Best Visual Effects. But bad news, Kong still has the most visual effects nominations. And I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah, so the original King Kong, the 1933 King Kong, did not win any nomination. But the 1976 King Kong won nominations from 4 categories.
Go to movie too, by the way.
I don't think I've seen it.
76?
Yeah, the 1976
he fights a giant snake. Remember that one?
No, I haven't watched that one.
So I didn't know that movie existed until I read that.
Oh, really?
I mean, I knew it existed, but I never watched it.
There's like Kong is like Superman. There's like different iterations of him.
Yeah.
There's like
so the 76 was a remake of the 33.
Yeah, remake. The 2005 version, which is my favorite one, is a remake of the original too. Yeah.
I can't believe that didn't win anything.
Did it not? I thought it was like a at a time like a 5-star movie.
Oh shit! Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange were in King Kong.
The main leads. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. The King Kong also got nominated. The Peter Jackson version also got nominated for a couple of awards.
Movie. I was actually watching scenes of that the other day. I love that movie.
Yeah. So the article was just like, yeah, Kong still has way more nominations, and I was just like, hey man, we're celebrating Godzilla. What are we doing?
Yeah, he's fucking better character anyways.
Yeah. It's like I understand the sentiment, but it felt like American pride. It felt like American pride kind of like being affected, like they were upset that Americans were losing out. Was that your Alexa?
Yeah, I heard
That's
that.
funny.
Yeah, it was Alexa. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. But it felt like American Pride like got hit because like the Japanese Godzilla like got nominated.
Oh, who fucking?
And it was just like, shut the fuck
Kong
up.
doesn't have fans.
fact,
Kong
yeah.
does.
Like,
Oh my god,
aside,
shut up.
Jokes aside, I was actually iffy on the Godzilla vs. Kong movie because I thought they're going to pull off some national bullcrap. Like, realistically, you know Godzilla can beat Kong.
Right.
But it's like, there would be like some kind of like, because they did it in the original Godzilla vs. King Kong movie. There was
Like
some
actually,
nationalism.
Kong has a contract that says he can't lose a fight.
Yeah, or whatever, something like that.
I'm kidding.
Well, that was like in the 50s.
You sick? There was a lot of
60s.
tension
That-
too.
Yeah.
So this one,
There was a reason why we did that.
yeah. I thought they're gonna do it for Godzilla vs. Kong here too, but it wasn't no bias in there. They did it like with like
Well, they're
facts, like
they're
you know, he
definitely
whooped his
when
ass.
they lose, because I can tell you what's gonna happen when they lose the rights, because they're about to be at the end of like the rights of like Godzilla in the U.S. anyway. They're gonna make Kong into
We don't
King
know that.
Kong.
That's not. That's,
Yeah, this is. I can tell you. This is so.
Okay,
like,
hold
so
on,
easy
hold
predictable.
on. This is something. This is. Remember when I got angry at Crockett fucking like 7 months ago, when I was like, he'll predict something, and then like just
he
say
says
like,
in
oh, I know.
2021.
I know
remember
this is what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to do this. They're going to X and that. They're going to do X and Y. And if he's right, he'll bring it up again that he's right.
Yeah.
But if he's wrong, he'll never fucking talk about it again. It'll be completely
Well, I was wrong.
of the
Why
kill
would I
thing.
talk about it again? I'll be like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I was wrong.
Yeah, and so like this is that thing. He's saying like, oh, when they lose their right, they're going to turn him into King Kong. And if it does happen that they turn him into King Kong, I'm going to be furious at that conversation when it
I
happens.
won't be interested no more.
It's obvious. This is
No,
literally
it's
what's
not.
gonna. Look,
You said it's in
listen to me.
2021 though.
Dude, yeah, they're when they lose the rights to Godzilla, because that's coming up eventually. They're going to lose the rights. They're going to pivot. They're going to make Kong King Kong, and they're going to start his own little franchise of like 3 movies where it's King Kong fights this, which is probably not going to do so well anyway.
No,
No,
it
it would
probably
do well, but Godzilla is what brings people to this movies. But again,
I just think it's funny that you have the audacity to just be like, I know
Yeah.
exactly what fucking Hollywood is going to do
Well, it's
5
like-
years
it's
from
like
now.
nobody on
the
the
numbers
lawsuit.
are there. The MonsterVerse
Yeah.
like brought back the Toho universe again, so they're both successful.
In a weird way.
And we got.
It's
I
like
mean, come on, we got a TV show. Even though
Yeah.
Godzilla was briefed in that show, no one asked for that, but that's still cool. That means they acknowledge that Godzilla's a big property over here still. So
Yeah.
It's awesome. Sorry, I think you're probably not wrong, Crockett. I just think it's funny.
yeah, it's really all
with
in
the
there.
I'm
authority
not
that
happy
you
about
say
it.
it.
I don't want that to really happen because I'm not really a Kong fan. I feel
Me
like
either.
they're trying to build up Kong to be like a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Give it
anything
to-
tells me from like what happened with like Godzilla versus Kong, the beginning of that film, I'm like, why are you trying to make me like Kong? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I don't
think
care.
I don't give a fuck about this character at all.
Yeah,
Like,
get
I
this
don't-
monkey out of here.
We're the
yeah,
A-holes,
exactly.
but I don't care.
I get it. I am a G fan. Like I am
Yeah.
like the opposite of what they're trying to build. But they're trying to build the American audience to have to be like, because that whole like when they're like making those shirts where it was like Team Godzilla
Team
versus
Kong.
Team Kong.
Yeah.
Who's buying Team Kong? Who's buying Team Kong shirts?
There's a guy at my job has a King
I know, but
Kong
you told me
hoodie.
this.
Yeah, I'm like, he didn't exist. Like
Shut
3
up!
years
That's
ago.
not real. You're not a real
Yeah,
person.
get out of here. Like,
You
There's-
got made.
what they call
You're a
it?
plant.
What they call it? An industry plant.
Industry
That's what
plant.
Kong-
Industry plant. If
Kong
you
and
ever you
industry
show me one
plant.
Kong fan, you got planted in by
Yeah,
the 40
like,
corporate.
come on, dude.
Get out of my face.
There's nothing about that character speaks cool.
No one
like
gives a
Godzilla
shit.
Gamma. Big
That's
A.
so funny.
Wow.
Big fucking monkey.
Even though he has good movies.
Industry
I can't
plants.
argue, but
Yeah.
he's not an interesting
And
character.
all right,
you
and
know?
I'll give it to you if you're like a fan of like the 30s Kong, like if you're a fan of classic films, fine, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
No, they're good movies.
But if you're a fan of this Kong, if you thought you saw Kong, what 2015?
The Peter Jackson version?
2017.
No,
That's
not
2000.
Peter Jackson. The
Oh,
other
the one that came after that?
yeah, I forget who directed it.
I don't know.
Did he like Metal Gear or something?
Yeah, it's the guy with the big beard. He's not a good director.
I know you're
I'm
talking
sorry.
about. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
But like, no, that movie sucks, and like, no one is a fan of that.
People,
No one saw that movie
That's
and was
actually
like,
people's
oh.
favorite
Oh,
MonsterVerse
Skull
movie.
Island. Skull Island.
The Skull Island.
Directed by
directed?
Jordan Vogt Roberts.
Yeah,
There
that's
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
else did he direct? Sorry. I love that I can just look it up for. Ooh! He's got a sexual harassment allegation. Yikes.
Ooh.
When was that? Like 2019?
He's trying to convert a Kong fan. Or
2017,
like,
yeah.
No, you like Kong.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't know either.
I used to follow him. Did he stop tweeting overall? I just remember that.
Well, probably
He said
after
a bunch
the
of crazy
allegation, he probably
tweets.
stopped.
I used to
tweeting
follow him
anything.
all this. I forgot about that.
But he was rumored to do. Yeah, I remember that a Metal Gear movie.
That's the last time.
Which I was like, don't let him do.
He was in
Metal
Death Stranding. That's how he's related to. He like knew Kojima. He was his likeness was in Death Stranding.
Oh, he put everybody. He put Junji Ito in that game.
I didn't see Junji Ito. I saw Nicholas Winding Refn, and a couple. I saw Conan. Conan was in there.
Yeah, Conan's in there.
Yes.
You probably
Yeah,
saw
he was
Junji Ito and didn't realize it was Junji Ito.
That's probably correct. That's probably true.
I saw him and I was like, oh shit, Junji Ito.
I don't know what he looks like. I never seen him before.
He looks like a bland just guy.
He just looks like a.
He's just a guy with black hair and glasses. That's
just a
Junji
Japanese
Ito.
dude, man. That's exactly what he looks like. If you think of a
does.
Japanese
Regular
dude,
film. Regular film.
like
You just
some
be like,
guy.
oh, it's some guy. I want to say all the people in Death Stranding, all those like little carrier things. I think they're all somebody Kojima knew.
He has a cool name though, by the way. I like how his
Junji
name is
Ito?
spelled. It's a good use of letters.
yeah.
Good use of letters.
I
I
know
hope
it
my
sounds
name's a
weird.
good use of letters. I hope I'm very useful.
Isn't that a weird thing to say though?
No, I love it. That's a
good use
shirt.
of
That's a
letters.
shirt.
Yeah.
It's like that's a good use of letters.
That's a shirt. That's a good use of letters.
Like Junji Ito. You don't see the combination of like letters like that.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Bang for your buck, double Christmas.
That's a resident fat guy.
What's the
I
other
watched
one?
that. Tay posted that the other day, and it was so fucking funny. Just the way that I killed you with that one. Anyway, yeah, I think Godzilla Minus One is a phenomenal film. I think it's a must watch. I think it's probably a Blu-ray buy for me whenever I get the chance to buy
They
it.
get hurt. They honestly they milking it. It's so successful. I get it, but give me the
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray needs to be out.
I
But
think
no,
it'll
the
be out.
4K needs to be out.
It'll be
Jordan
out when
didn't give me
the-
no poster, by the way. That's the reason I
No,
went.
really?
No, they didn't give me.
Oh, you say? I think Shin SH is making a black and white version of them.
So stupid. I saw that.
It's like the Shin
SH?
Godzilla
No.
version of
Purple.
the whites or the Frozen version. I'm like, I don't
They
want
have that?
this.
I didn't know
Yeah.
they had that.
Yeah, they made like 6, 7 versions of them, like night version, Frozen version, like
Brian, I
just
want this
weird,
toy so
weird
bad.
color
It's like
variations.
$300.
Dude, I
Yeah,
saw a Godzilla toy at Walmart. It was the pink Godzilla from the Kong crossover.
Oh, they in movies now?
That's
You
that's
mean
just
they
a
in
com-
Walmart now?
I don't know if they were selling them at Walmart. It like breathed like smoke. It like had like a channel to like
Yeah,
do
I saw
smoke.
this figure.
It was like fully mechanized. Like the
Yeah.
head fucking moved and the arms moved and it like shut out fire. Looked incredible. And I tried to find the link to send it to you guys, but I could not fucking find that. I saw it on a
No,
TikTok.
I seen it, but I didn't know there was in. That movie is funny because they don't give a fuck about spoilers. There's a character in the toys, just that white guy, Shimu, and I'm pretty sure kids like, who was that? I didn't see him in the trailer, but he's there.
Dude, I love the Godzilla franchise for the same reason that we can get like a really big grounded movie like Godzilla Minus One, and then just get another movie where like this fucking monkey and this lizard are like running at the screen, about to fuck some shit up.
It's
I
funny
think
you
it's
say that
great.
because people just straight up disagree on Twitter. They think one should be the other and only that. I'm like, I'm eating on both sides of the fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Place,
Let us
dude.
eat. We had to go drive for like 11 years.
Yeah, you guys
let
were
us
more.
fucking
You guys
eat
are like,
and
Yeah,
die.
I don't understand like why it can't be this and that. Why can't just like.
Just have a good time.
Consumer guy. I'm just having a good time here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, like, damn, like. I remember what it was like in the dark ages.
Yeah, me too.
I'm fine, dude. Let me thrive.
I never
Yeah,
had an
let me
expectation
eat.
with this franchise. Just give me something, and
Yeah.
well, I think that
Hopefully
that's
I
like
enjoy
the
it,
best
yeah.
way to consume any franchise. At the end of the day, it's just like if something comes out, if
Yeah.
something comes out and it's good, you had a good time. If something comes out
Yeah.
and it's bad, the franchise is still alive, and the next one might be better.
But I love the
Well, we can't say that for a specific room.
That's true. That's true.
the two fans out there.
The two fans left.
Well, if they just let him keep directing the same, like
I
if
hope
he
he
didn't
wanted
do,
to.
if he wouldn't do,
he didn't want to.
He did a horror movie.
No,
The
no,
House.
he wanted to. He wanted
They
to
did-
film it, but they wouldn't. The studio wouldn't let him do both. They wouldn't
Why?
let him with the time between Shape of Water and because he wanted to do the sequel.
Yeah.
He did like some horror movie at the time too.
I think it was Shape of Water. I
Shape
think
of
that was
Water.
the yeah. Shape
not
of
really
Water.
a horror
Fox. That's a
Some-
great movie.
I don't know. I still
Well,
haven't
fuck's
seen
in
it
one
yet.
way.
Guillermo hasn't done another movie since Shape of Water, I believe.
He did. Well, he won an Oscar on that, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
won Oscar Best Picture. I remember this.
I don't think it's Best Picture.
Like best effects or whatever.
I think it was something.
Or supporting actress or whatever. I don't know. But the minus one, it's so. Oh no.
Minus one is so what? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
No, I was saying minus one. It's so cool to see this movie, a Japanese traditional Godzilla movie, get so much praise. And
right,
people.
and then like seeing mainstream, like just seeing
And
Japanese, like Shin Godzilla didn't really get this treatment, like
no, not at all.
But like it's great to see like a Japanese Godzilla, like actually hit big over here in the U.S.
Like this is the real, not to be the pretentious, but that's the real source material right there from Toho themselves. Like that's the most authentic way to watch Godzilla possible.
It should be.
It's cool to see people watch it.
Not to keep running on, but Shin Godzilla like got a slight release in the U.S. It got like a weekend in the U.S. and then it got like
it got a limited release. Yeah,
it got and then it got like and then it got 2 more weekends. It did well enough to get.
It's so strange
weekends.
though, because it's like Godzilla was popular at the time, but I don't know what made them change it here. I don't know why they did that.
Legendary. The Legendary films got it to be so big over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's I think that's what it was. Like they just made it was popular in Japan. And then they made the Legendary films with Bryan Cranston.
The Bryan Cranston movies came
like
first,
they
though.
just.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Bryan Cranston movies made it popular in America.
Toho saw that like they wasn't doing anything with that property, and they just like let Legendary like, okay, here, have at it. I mean, we're not using it anyway. That did so well over here. They're like, okay,
let's do Shin Godzilla now.
All right, we'll take a risk. We'll make Shin Godzilla. We'll do something new. That did well, and then it just pops off. Where it's just bouncing back and forth, where their popularity, and then it's just like we keep printing good Godzilla films.
Yeah. Right, which one is your favorite though? Minus one or Shin Godzilla? Out of the new Rare Era movies. So for
me, it's minus one. But they're different products.
That's hard because it's
okay. There's 2 movies in front of you. Which one you watch first, or which one you pick up first? Like to just
I always show everybody. What in what context? Like I think like they're equal in both my minds, but if I'm trying to show someone just Godzilla, I'm showing them Shin Godzilla. Even though it's a weird Godzilla, like even though I'm like, this is fucking Godzilla. If I'm trying to get someone into Godzilla films, I'm like, watch either 1954 or watch Minus One. Like if I'm trying to like show them, no, this is a good franchise. These have good movies. But like Godzilla is like a little thing. It's like just a perfect franchise because it has a little bit of everything for everybody.
It is everything.
It does.
Oscar-worthy movies. You have your action-bait movies. you have your like fun family movies. You have your like silly dorky movies. You have it all. Yeah. You have 54 fucking years. No, wait, 64 years now.
That's it's almost 70.
Yeah, 64
he's 70
years.
This year, actually. Yeah, 70.
70.
Yeah.
You have 70 years of film. It's a household name.
Yeah, it's good. I think so. I'm gonna be like the pretentious film guy, and I'm gonna go minus one. I think because minus one is what I think a drama should be. You know, like it's when we're talking Godzilla, like it's what I think the movie should be, which is like great human characters, great themes, great acting, great cinematography, great editing. And like everything in that movie works together to make a really phenomenal film. And I think that like if someone says, "Hey, I want to watch a good Godzilla movie," I'm gonna be minus one. If someone says, "Hey, I want to watch a fun Godzilla movie," I'm gonna be like, "Okay, well, pick any of the other Godzilla movies." How about you, Tay?
I prefer minus one. Simply, I think this is a better movie overall, better human characters. Even though I love the human characters in Shin. More so,
it's a better story. It's a better like through from point A to B to C to D.
I think minus one have better characters with personal characters. Minus one, I grouped them all as one.
Yeah,
not minus one, but Shin Godzilla. I'm sorry, I grouped them as one character, the government or whatever.
Yeah.
While minus one, I can pinpoint characters I like here and there.
Yeah.
I prefer minus one, like even about the design wise too. Like that's top 5 looking best Godzilla designs. But overall,
I agree.
Still, my Singular Point still has one of my favorite designs out of a Godzilla.
Oh, you like
film.
Singular Point design?
Yeah.
It's ugly.
I like the
Takashi Yamazaki.
Really? I didn't know that.
I think they combined some of the best worlds of Godzilla into singular points.
Is this the animation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
Bryan, you can get your PhD in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very smart show. If you...
A physicist wrote this show. I think it was a girl, right? She wrote this show. She's like a physicist
I'm not
or something.
sure who wrote it.
Like quantum
That's
physics.
awesome.
I felt like Bryan Green after I watched this show. Yeah.
It's very fucking technical. It's a super technical show.
You feel smart after watching this show.
Mishukaku, Godzilla.
What?
That's the type of Godzilla this is. Mishukaku type ass Godzilla.
Yeah.
Everybody go watch Singular Point on Netflix.
I'm watching the trailer right now. It looks fun.
It is. It's great.
Yeah, it takes its time. It's a very.
I can see why Crockett. I can see why you like this Godzilla. I can see why you like this Godzilla design. You're into the monstrous Godzillas, like you're into the Godzillas that.
Oh yeah, grotesquely monstrous. Love it.
In fact, Bryan, this is my favorite character cast after Shin.
The -1.
Yeah, no, Singular Point.
Singular Point.
Before -1 came out, this is my favorite cast from Singular Point.
It looks like almost looks like Ultraman is in there. I know it's not. But they have a mech.
It's Jet Jagger, which is a base off of kind of like.
Got you. I know that. Yeah, Fredericks gave me the rundown on that whole situation.
Dude, both you guys, please watch the Gamera anime. It's so fun. What happened?
I tried.
My camera's doing a thing.
I tried. That is a rough show, dude.
No, it's not.
Animation?
The animation is poor. It is dollar store animation.
Change your frame rate in your eyes.
All right, we're getting to gamer territory. I think we can wrap it up by now.
Yeah, we can. We totally can. I think Godzilla Minus One is a phenomenal film, and I think everybody should fucking go watch it.
Yeah, everyone, please go watch it. Please go support your local Japanese.
If you're like a Godzilla fan, do not have a hissy fit if it doesn't win the Oscars.
Yeah, you're
mentioning an Oscar.
It got nominated.
Still a good yes.
It got nominated. We're happy. We're happy just to be there.
I don't think people acknowledge this franchise more than just cheap monsters.
Yeah, I can't think of any. I can't think of any other movie that is like gonna do better than. I can't think of another visual effects contender. Like visual effects contender.
Marvel never wins. Spider-Verse might beat it. I think Spider-Verse is going to beat it.
Yeah. They come out that year.
But granted, we've seen Spider-Verse already in terms of like it's that's not nothing new no more.
I'm just curious. Crockett, you can.
But it would be cool if you guys a little win though. That'd be awesome.
Ooh, the creator might win though. The creator had some amazing visual effects.
To see that.
The creator
is really good.
Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, we do appreciate making you down to the end of the episode. We love to see you here. If you guys like the show, give us a like. If you don't like the show, give us a dislike. If you're watching this or you're listening to this on your Apple Podcast or anywhere you get your podcast, give us a rating and give us a little review. That actually would help us out a ton.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
We want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Like, what do you guys think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you like it? Have you seen it? Did you recommend it to a friend? Have you seen it in color, 4DX? Let us know down in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to talk to us in person or anything like that, hit us up on Discord. All the links are down below. If you want to follow us on any of the social medias, all the links are down in description. But until next week, guys, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Man, that's the best ending you ever did.
That's the best outro. That's the best outro.
Getting better at it, I guess. Yeah.
It's the best outro he's done and the best outro we're going to get.
Slow it down a little bit there. Like, slow it slightly, and it's perfect. When you mentioned the creator, I typed this in, and I'm like, Tyler the Creator's in this movie?
He is?
No.
I forgot to call him that, too.
It's funny.